Hello, everybody. My name is Jerry Michael Combs, and I will be your instructor for English 101 this semester. You can call me Mr. Combs, you can call me Jerry Michael, you can call me Jerry, you can call me Michael. All of those are just fine. I want to, in this video, talk a little bit about how the course is set up and the things that we are going to do over this semester. And I have a list here. You may see me look to the side a little bit because I have a list of things I want to talk about to make sure that I cover everything. Also, we will be using Blackboard, as you know, because you are in Blackboard and you've accessed this welcome video. But we will also be using two other programs that are online. One of them is Perusall, and the other is Edpuzzle, and I'll explain how to use those. That may be in another video, depending on how long this video gets, or it may be at the end of this video. So we'll see. So the first thing when you log into Blackboard, you want to start here. So this is actually my view. This is not student preview. So you may see some things in my view that I have hidden for students. It's stuff you don't need, so don't worry about it. But you may see it here. So if your course doesn't look exactly the same, that's the reason why. But what you want to do is start here. And when you click on Start Here, you get a whole bunch of information. So the first thing that you see is course information. You see instructor information, and you've already probably looked at course information and instructor information because you're watching this video. But here under instructor information, you will see a picture of me back when I had my hair freshly cut. I need a haircut again. Hopefully I can get out to do that soon. You'll see some information about me. The welcome video will be here after I create it. You'll see some important information. So this is the information I want to make sure that you understand. This is also located in the syllabus, most of this, I think all of it. So my office hours this semester are in the evening. I have other activities and classes going on in the morning, and so I only have evening office hours. I am available at other times by appointment. But my listed office hours are Monday and Wednesday from 3 to 5, and Tuesday and Thursday from 2 to 5. Now, up until February 5th, all office hours will be on the Hazard campus. But starting February 5th, I have classes starting at the 12-week point in Jackson at the Lee's College campus. So I will be there on Tuesday and Thursday. My phone number will be the same. My email address, you'll always be able to contact me using email. So my phone number and email address is there. Oh, and I wanted to tell you that my office in Hazard is in the Jolly Classroom Center 236H, and at Lee's it is the Smith Administration Building 211. So like I said, my phone number and email is there. When you email me, remember that my email address is jerrym.combs. A lot of times faculty members' email address will be their first name and their last name, but for some reason when my email was set up, I guess because I'm called Jerry Michael sometimes, it was set up to be jerrym.combs. So if you message or send an email to jerry.combs, I probably won't get it. Some other Jerry Combs will get it. So it says that I prefer that you contact me through email, and that's just because I travel to different campuses. I'll always check my email Monday through Thursday. On Friday, I may have meetings, so I may only get to check my email once. So any email that is sent on Friday or over the weekend, I'll probably respond to the following Monday. Other than that, give me 24 hours to respond, and I will respond within 24 hours. One of the things that I have set up in this class is the discussion board called the Composition Cafe. And the Composition Cafe is a place for you to ask questions about the concepts and assignments from class. Um, Check the cafe from time to time to look at the questions of others, see if you can respond. So basically, if you are confused about what an assignment is asking for, or if you want to discuss a certain concept, you can use the Composition Cafe. I try to check that at least 3 times a week. I try to check it every day, but at least 3 times a week. So, but I encourage all of us to look at it, because you may have the answer to someone else's question, right? Um, so we'll use that. Sometimes students don't use that very often. Uh, and then in other classes, we use it a lot. So anything that you want to post, that's sort of a question or a comment, or if you found a neat resource, or anything that sort of doesn't, is not part of one of the assignments, but it's a question you have, or a resource you have, or just a comment you want to make, you can post it in the Composition Cafe. Um, Keep in mind that if you have something that you want to ask me that you don't want anyone else to see, just email me directly, because the Composition Cafe is open to all and everyone in the class can see the Composition Cafe. We can also have a phone conversation if you need to, or we can meet through Blackboard Collaborate. And in fact, I will probably ask you to meet with me at least once during this semester through Blackboard Collaborate. It will be when we're writing essay number 1, and we'll talk about your draft and we'll talk about how the class is going so far. One thing I wanted to mention about grading and feedback is that feedback provided by me on assignments is an important part of this class. So please access feedback. I usually will give you, for major essays, I will give you a rubric that has feedback on the rubric, and I will write comments all over your essay and send that back to you. Please read that. Please, um, if there's any questions you have over anything I've said, uh, make sure you ask me, because that's an important part of the instruction in this class. We will go through activities where we talk about, as a class, what is a good thesis? What is a strong thesis? What are some ways that I can use evidence in my writing? But individual comments on your essays is another important way that I get information across to you. So it's another important way that I teach this course. So don't just, whenever you get a rough draft back, don't just, you know, okay, look at my grade. Or whenever you get a final draft back of a major assignment, don't just look at your grade and move on. Look at the feedback, because the feedback will help you as you complete other assignments. The feedback on rough drafts, will certainly help you as you complete a final draft. Now, having said that, in order to um, give meaningful feedback, sometimes I may need to keep essays longer, um, and not give them back right away, right? So if you have a 4 to 6 page essay and I have 25 of those coming in, it may take me a little bit longer. So what my general rule is that most assignments will be graded and returned within 3 to 5 days from the due date. If I need to take a little bit longer, I'll let you know, first of all. And secondly, I will extend the date if it's a rough draft that the final draft is due. What I like to do is I like to give you at least a week in between a rough draft being turned in and the final draft being due, so that you can look at my comments and make any corrections or make any revisions that you would like to based on those comments. So, if there are assignments that are not as important as drafts, where feedback is not as important, I may take a little bit longer to grade those. So I apologize. I know that students like to have their grades as soon as possible, and I like to get things graded and done as soon as possible as well. But let's just be patient with each other. And the only assignment that I absolutely will not, um, or that I don't want to take late. There are extenuating circumstances, of course, uh, but the only assignment that I really don't want you to turn in late, I don't want you to turn any assignment in late, but the one that I don't for sure is your rough draft, because I like to get those back to you as soon as possible. So that you don't get off track with the due dates of the final draft, right? So please turn in all of your rough drafts on time. Turn in every assignment on time. But please, if you need to turn in another assignment a little bit late, let me know. But please do not turn in rough drafts late. The good news about that is it's a rough draft, so you can turn in whatever you have at that point. If you just have a paragraph written with some notes, turn that in, and I can give you feedback. One final note I want to make is that if you're having trouble with this course, or if you have challenges or emergencies, or if you have any questions about the course, please reach out to me first. After that, if we can't settle something, or if we can't come to an agreement, my supervisor's contact information is listed on in the course syllabus. If you need to contact my supervisor, be sure to leave a message identifying yourself as a student at HCTC, provide your course number, section, and a brief summary of the issue. I don't think you'll have to do that, but I like to give students that information. All right, so quickly, what I want to do, I was trying to make this video 15 minutes, but it's probably going to be a little bit over. But what I would like for you to do is look at the syllabus, and I'll talk to you about the syllabus a little bit. There's some information about the start date, the no-show date. Remember to complete, it's a good idea that you complete the no-show assignment actually this week. But January 16th is the absolute last day to complete it. Here are my office hours again, my phone number. Communication and feedback, we've talked about that. Here's the course description and the competencies. The textbook for this course is a book called The Food We Eat, The Stories We Tell, Contemporary Appalachian Tables. Actually, it is a book of essays, and I have it here. You do not have to purchase this book. I repeat, please do not purchase this book. This text can be found in HCTC libraries. It's an online text as well. And what I've done is I've linked to the relevant chapters in our Blackboard course. So you don't even have to find this book. Whenever you need to read an essay from this book, the essay will just be there for you to read. Okay. Other materials are a 3-ring binder for keeping materials organized, or a space where you can maybe download some documents in a folder, right? I give you a lot of information. There are a lot of sort of videos for you to take notes from and things like that. So a place where you can keep materials organized, pencil and composition notebook for note taking and journal writing. I'm not going to ask you to write journals, like for example, journals to turn in. But what I like to do is I like to keep a journal in a composition book like this for this class, so I can write notes when I'm watching videos, or notes. I guess you could use it for notes when you're watching videos. I will use it for notes when I'm creating videos or creating lessons. And if I do any pre-writing, I like to do it here. If I do any reflection on anything, I like to do it here. So you can use anything you like, scrap sheets or a spiral bound notebook or anything you'd like. But I like these little composition books because it makes me feel like that I'm in the college setting. A couple of other things that I want to mention is that we will write 4 essays in this class. We'll do 2 peer reviews, and that's where you will look at the essays or the writing of other students and provide comments, and I'll explain more about that later on. You will review 2 articles and write critical responses. And then we have Edpuzzle and Perusall assignments. And then there will be little other assignments throughout the course. So please read this information about each of these course activities. So essays, the critical response, the peer review, other assignments, traditional grading scale. There are other policies. The one that I find to be most important, and I'm going to actually increase this a little bit, is the academic honesty policy. Plagiarism, whether deliberate or accidental, is a very serious offense. An institution of higher learning should be a place where students and faculty feel free to express their ideas so they can grow academically and personally. Taking credit for another person's ideas or allowing another person to complete your work violates this institution's values and mission. So plagiarism will be not be tolerated, and it will be seriously looked at if there's any plagiarism happening. That's why it's so important to document well, and we'll talk about documentation. When you use material generated by AI software such as ChatGPT, you are not expressing or developing your ideas. And that's the problem that I have with AI in this course. This course is to teach you to generate ideas, plan for writing, revise writing, right? An important learning outcome for the course is planning, drafting, revising, proofreading, and editing to produce well-written essays. When you simply just present something that AI has generated, you have not planned, you have not drafted, you have not revised in any way. Therefore, the use of AI will be treated just like plagiarism. You will receive a 0 for the assignment, and excessive plagiarism, excessive use of AI generated writing will result in a failure for the course. So other than that, you can read the syllabus. Also, what I want you to know is that there's a course schedule. The only other thing, and I know this video is getting quite long, the HCTC tutoring services, if you click on that, that will give you some good information about tutors. Nancy Arrowood is the tutor who specifically can help with English. All tutors can help with English, but Nancy, that's one of her specialties. So please see her if you have any trouble. She can also help you. You can schedule a time to work with tutors either in person or virtually. And then you can also use BrainFuse. BrainFuse is a tutoring service. You can read more about it. You can work with a tutor, or you can use the writing lab. And in the writing lab, you can submit a piece of writing, and a tutor will submit back to you some suggestions for revision. I suggest using that. I've students who have used it have had success with it. All right, the last thing I want to do in this very long video is I want to talk generally about, so that's the start here. I want to talk generally about the weekly assignments. So each of these blocks that say week 1, week 2, they're called modules. And I have our modules set up in weeks. So when you access the course and you access week 1, for example, you will see different steps. So all you have to do each week is go on to Blackboard, click on the week, and just do the steps in order. Sometimes you'll be asked to watch a video. Sometimes you'll be asked to respond to a discussion board. Sometimes you'll be asked to turn in an assignment. Some weeks have several different steps, and some weeks have just a couple, right? So week 2 is a busy week, I will admit. It has 6 steps, and really step 5 has a 5A and a 5B. But if we go down to something like, let's see, week 9 has 1 step. That's turning in the final draft of Essay 2. Week 10 has 4 steps, right? So each week has a certain number of steps. If you have any trouble as you're working through the steps, just let me know. Try to keep up, because there are some things that we want to do as a class. Like there are some discussion boards that we want to all look at and respond to at the same time. And certainly your perusal readings, which I'll talk about in another video, you will want to we will want to all work on those together as well. So this is a class where a lot of the things you'll be doing, you'll be sort of working on your own, working through steps. But throughout the course, there are times when we're going to interact with each other quite a bit. All right. If you have any questions with anything, let me know. I know that I've not talked about perusal or Edpuzzle, but I will in another video. This video is just getting quite long. So I'm very excited about this semester, as I am about every semester. I know that we're going to have a good semester, and I just want you to, if you have any questions, just let me know. And that's all I have for now. Please watch the next video where I talk about perusal and Edpuzzle, 2 other programs we're going to use. It's very easy to use them, I think.